Welcome back to Tetra Football, and yes, we have my dog Bertie right here sitting with us for this video.
Sitting on me.
If
But
you wonder
today,
what happened to Jaden,
this is what happened to him. But today we are reacting to Champions League Match Day 1. We didn't make predictions for it, just thought it'd be fun to react to. What was...
let's start
First
off with
game
the
was
obvious
done.
then. You want to talk to us about Dynamo Zagreb and
Not
Chelsea?
really,
Well,
but
Orsic,
I'll
the same
do
man who
it.
knocked Tottenham out from Europa
To be
League.
fair,
La, la, la.
they played their game really well. And I mean, can you just get off me for a second?
He's got half a camel on his chest.
Wow, bloody hell.
Alright,
It's a bit of a lump.
He's just
But,
trying to
I
take
mean-
away from the fact that
I mean,
Chelsea
we
are
were
awful.
absolutely awful. I mean, we were pushing, but they played their game really well. They knew what they were doing, and we fell into their trap.
And they got Tuchel sacked. So
Yeah, I
we'll
mean-
take on that.
And now you've got Potter.
I wanted Potter to not come to Chelsea. I didn't really want Tuchel to get sacked. It's really harsh considering what he's done with the club. I mean, what is this dog doing? It's being a bit concerning
Stop talking
now.
about the dog. He's
But,
just sitting there.
Yeah,
It's a dog,
Chelsea.
It's a dog special.
Chelsea, we're awful right now, and to be honest, I can't see it getting any better with Potter. And thank you for looking me to try
Stop
encourage
talking
me,
about the
but
dog.
it's just not going to get any better
Well,
with Potter.
To be honest, Zagreb, I think you're right in saying they played the game they wanted to play.
And to be honest, they are a really good club that is quite underrated.
It was.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to come to expect that, really.
Yeah.
I mean, with Zagreb.
Yeah, I mean, if it was at home, it would be a different story.
It'd be more
Chelsea,
embarrassing, but it's still. I think, especially. I mean, the fact that it was 95% Zagreb fans there. Like there was a small portion of Chelsea fans that.
I don't think many of them wanted to go all the way to Croatia again.
Exactly.
They probably thought they'd win easy.
And it's
instead
probably
of-
too
Not
close
really.
to Ukraine as well, maybe right now politically. And I mean, the stadium is quite intimidating. Like the actual setup of the stadium, I think definitely played a big role in it because there's a huge running track in between the stands and the pitch.
Just like Naples.
But then there's this huge wall of Zagreb fans behind the goal, and I think that really definitely put off the Chelsea fans and the attackers when they're playing up their end.
Well, Tom, what do you think of the game?
Well, I just think Chelsea. Well,
Yeah, Brighton's getting relegated.
Hang on, that's not relevant. They're not in the Champions League.
Sorry, it's just.
Well, the thing is, you can't just bring him wrong because it's not to do with the conversation. It's like
So what
It's
about
like
Orsic?
talking
Can we
about
just
Sunderland.
talk
What
about the
Orsic?
game, please?
What do you think? How do you think he played?
so because of Joe loved Orsic, I think he played
With him.
excellently well. I just think he's a quality asset, and I just think he's gonna shine. He's gonna be grand.
I do rate.
Cheers, Jeff. But
Cheers,
what do
Jeff.
you have to say about the game, George?
Well, Chelsea were poor. Zagreb played the way they wanted to play. Chelsea fell right into the trap, and Orsic, he's definitely their best player. I mean, he knocked Tottenham out pretty much single-handedly a few years ago from the Europa League, so
Yeah.
he seems to love a European night, that man, and I definitely
I think the
underestimated
Champions
Zagreb.
League is a much bigger stage.
It
Obviously.
is, but he just
I
seems
do
to love
have
a
to
European
say,
night.
And to
all
knock out
the
a
games
a
so
recent
far
champion
have
of
been class.
I've got to say though, it would have been very ironic, but maybe the man that Chelsea should have hired after Tuchel went was Kacic, the Zagreb manager, because I think he is definitely punching
Could have
his
done a
way.
decent job.
Yeah.
Next game, should we
No.
just get
so
Liverpool
the-
versus Napoli out the way?
No,
Let's
no,
not.
we're
Let's
going
go for
order.
Dortmund versus Copenhagen.
I mean,
that was 3-0 win for.
I
Dortmund,
know
wasn't it?
Bellingham scored. I think he was really good in that game, but you don't really expect much when you've got Matty Ryan in your goal. You know you're gonna lose.
But Copenhagen are one of the biggest clubs in Denmark.
In
So you've
Denmark.
got to,
Yeah, but
He's
Dort-
only backing him because they've got
Dortmund's just
Matty
a
Ryan,
bigger
ex-Brighton
pool of fish,
keeper.
really.
I think Copenhagen, they do have a lot of recognisable players.
You do have to
saw that
say-
team, I was like, hang on, I didn't realise that he played for.
You do have to rate the Danish national team, but the Danish league isn't top quality, is it?
Well, obviously in comparison to the biggest leagues around Europe, you wouldn't compare it. But at the same time, it does have players recognised by many internationally and globally as top players.
Yeah, well,
Good boy.
honestly, don't know too much about this game. Obviously, Dortmund did very well, and I think they're just a level above Copenhagen, really.
Yeah, all right. So probably only briefly talk about some Benfica's 2-0 win over Maccabi Haifa. May I just start with that? I don't know if any of you saw it, but
Did not see it.
Grimaldo's goal for Benfica was like
Stupendous.
it's definitely the best goal of the tournament so far.
I mean, it's not
Wow.
really. It didn't really come as a shock, you know. I think everyone expected Benfica to win this game, and I think I'm safe to say they did it with ease. And, you know, they weren't really at challenge at any point, and you know the dog's off.
gone.
He's not happy with what I've said.
Anything more? On the
I
game?
mean, I think Benfica, so wasn't it 2-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could have scored a little bit more, but I don't think they. I think they just wanted to grab the 3 points and be on their way to the next game, really.
Yeah,
But I think they need a proper test against a big team
Oh,
to
the
see
dog's
how
back.
they're going to perform.
Yeah, and
Without
of
Nunez
course
especially.
they've got two very big teams in the group in the forms of PSG and Juventus.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
that's going to be
I
a big
think-
test for them.
I think the easiest way to sum up that game really is just Benfica showed their class against the team you expect them to be easy.
Yeah, they're a poor team. All right, this game was a massive one, really.
PSG,
Regarding an English
Juventus.
team, no, Sevilla versus Manchester City.
4-0 was in
4-0
it.
to-
City.
Haaland again. It's
I
like
like
25
that.
goals in 20
I mean,
games in the
it is a
Champions
bit
League. That's
like
mental.
Kevin De Bruyne goes, just stick it in there. Haaland will be in there somewhere. I mean, he always is.
I know Sevilla I know Sevilla are poor right now, but still, you would not expect that coming.
It's just an absolute thumping, really.
Yeah.
I think for Sevilla, they just want to get to the Europa League normally. They probably could try a little bit more, but they just want to get into the Europa
To be
League.
fair,
You
they'd
know-
probably be
You know, I
happy
think,
with
you
dropping
know,
down.
Seville need to, like, build some blocks up and,
There-
like,
there was-
build their confidence again.
There was theory behind the fact they do kind of want to drop into Europa. And there are theory, obviously, that they could be going after a new manager, preferably for them Pochettino.
Pochettino,
But I think they are in a bit of a meltdown, but at the same time, losing 4-0 at home in any circumstances,
not ideal.
yeah, it's crazy.
Being at this point against Haaland and City, you can almost make an exception. The amount of
True, yeah.
goals they're scoring.
Yeah, they do seem to be one of the most
Quite ridiculous. I
omnipotent
mean,
teams in the
letting a
Champions League.
centre-back score, though, is quite out there, you know. Diaz getting a goal.
And of course, Haaland got two.
Yeah.
Anything
Foden
else
getting
on that?
another one.
Not really, Jeff, but
Jeff.
not Jeff,
Joe.
Joe. Sorry, it's my dementia. But
Dementia.
Okay.
But I think it was. I think it's kind of what you expected, but not that as many goals really. But I think it was a good performance from Man City and poor from Seville really.
Red Bull, Salzburg versus AC Milan. It was a 1-1 draw. Didn't
1-1
I mean,
get much better, so-
I'm happy about it because it just takes a little bit less pressure off
yeah.
Chelsea to do well. I mean, I'm sure, you know, we'll progress either first or second. Don't know if we'll get first, but I hope we do. But, you know, two sides that did seem to be quite even on the night. You know, I was watching it because key eye on the other group,
Yeah.
other people in your group. You know, I think watching the game, you couldn't really tell a better team for me.
Which is quite shocking because going into it, I think
You'd
we'd
expect-
all expect Milan.
Milan,
You would
yeah.
expect Milan, but Salzburg, they do like a bit of European.
held their
football.
Yeah,
own.
I think I
Decent.
might have severely underestimated them.
To be fair, they did hold their own.
I think we're forgetting the fact that RB Salzburg, they still have a decently squad. I mean, they've got the luck because they're normally it's kind of the sort of club which they have some really good talent, but they always get snapped up by big teams. Really, it's like I said, but I think before Mohamed Kamal, I don't actually know if he's still there because I didn't catch the game unfortunately. But I think AC, I think Milan, I think they're going to top the group personally. I think that's just, I think that was in close game, but I'm just going to have to wait and
Yeah,
see.
well-
See if they're top of the group.
All in all, you just expect a bit more from AC Milan, really.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty much sums it up. You do expect better from them, but can't take away the fact that Salzburg played well.
Reactions.
Dog trying to kill him.
So, Celtic versus Real Madrid.
And I'm happy because I did not back Scottish football and I mean they got thumped, so I was right to back them both. The Scottish
To
teams
fail.
got
Not gonna.
thumped. I mean 4-0 to Real Madrid. Did you expect
3-0.
anything? 3-0. Sorry. Did you expect anything less?
I
didn't
expected more
personally.
from Real, to be honest. I think there was.
I'm not going to talk about my Scottish club
Yeah.
predictions.
Your
Hopefully,
club.
I mean the Scottish club's predictions.
your
I don't-
historic 1-0 win.
Yeah, I thought it might happen. You know, I thought.
Yes,
Celtic,
wrong.
they might be excited and energetic about being
Excited.
back in the Champions League, but I think Real Madrid just way better.
There did seem to be.
I
some
mean,
sort
they did seem a bit too excited. You know, they're a bit too like eager.
Too excited. What do you think they did? Wet their pants.
of-
No, but you know what I mean. they went out there and forgot their game plan. It just seemed to
Their
me.
game plan was run around.
Yeah,
and,
that's
Real
what I
Madrid's
mean.
To be
game
fair,
plan was
I think against a team like Real Madrid, their best hope was to outrun them, just like Brentford did to United. And
I mean, I think
there was a sense of ignorance from Celtic, I felt,
Yeah.
as well. They kind of went in the game thinking, all right, we bossed our league every year. This is just going to be another
I think,
St Mirren.
for
And of
Celtic,
course, it
even
wasn't.
though they said they'd beat Rangers, but there's a difference between Rangers and living Real Madrid.
to be fair, I
Different
wouldn't mind seeing Celtic versus Liverpool right now. I think that could be quite a tight affair.
Shame they're not in the same group.
Yeah, I know.
it's fine, we've got Rangers.
This game was also like
Easy
massive
Rangers
as it prompted the sacking of Tedesco, the Leipzig manager, when they
Oh.
lost 4-1 at home to Ukrainian side Shakhtar.
That
Donetsk.
is shocking, and personally, I'm disappointed about this. I know Leipzig can be consistent, but I thought they might do decent in Champions League. They have done before. They knocked Tottenham out a few years ago, didn't they? Where they got decently far, and I just thought maybe Shakhtar's really good form in the Champions League would finally come to an end, but apparently not. So I think I might end up getting this prediction wrong in the
I'm
group.
gonna
in the end.
I'm gonna be completely honest. This is one that I couldn't see happening in a million years, but it's happened, and I just think Leipzig have moved quickly to get rid of their manager. Not sure if it's the right,
They haven't
right
been on
thing,
the best form, especially
but-
last season as well.
but I just think they want to qualify to the knockout stages of the Champions League, so I think they could bounce back pretty
I
big.
think Shakhtar could end up picking up some odd results in the kind of Champions League, because I think they're not a terrible side by all means. They're still a decent side, not a Champions League sort of quality to get through the group, but I think they can go to Europa League possibly.
I honestly think
Yeah.
they could.
They could get through.
I think they
But
could go through.
yeah, you never know.
I mean, I
Especially,
really,
I mean,
They're surprised.
They're in the same group as Celtic.
To be
man.
fair,
I mean, I really underestimated
it's a
them.
bit early to know who's going to get through.
Yeah,
to
but
be
so
honest.
so far it looks like I really underestimated them anyway, and I mean it's just all on me really, completely wrong with that.
Really.
And there's been, of course, the new manager appointment of, I believe his name is Rose, the new Leipzig manager. But to be honest,
Just reminds me of Danny Rose.
He failed at Dortmund a year or two ago, so that's not
you would
too
have thought that it would
convincing.
have been the kind of place that maybe Pochettino would eye up, or
He did well at
or even
Glad.
Klopp,
He
or
did well at
Tuchel.
Gladbach.
Klopp.
So.
Klopp's not gone, lad.
He will be soon.
Oh,
That's a-
very
that's-
bold
That's a,
prediction.
that's a different
Klopp
point.
does normally get sacked.
Should we move on
Every
to
most
Alright, our
clubs have
final
been
Tuesday game
Yes.
was PSG versus Juventus.
Klopp
Two big
five
games,
year
wasn't it?
colour.
Didn't PSG win?
Yeah, it's 2-1 PSG.
I mean,
Big,
this
big
game,
result.
Kylian Mbappe did turn up big in Champions League football once again, and I just, I think it was 2 assists for Messi. I mean, shows that he can really do it in whatever league he's in currently, even the Champions League. I mean, I just didn't really expect much of a fight, 2-1's quite a close game. And I just thought, PSG probably would get 2-3-0. But, Juventus, put up a decent fight. Not quite there, but promising signs for me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, to be honest. I think Juventus,
Thank you.
Juventus, I was expecting to get hammered, in all
Yeah.
honesty, but they did put up the fight, of course, McKennie getting that goal and everything. I mean, if this game were to be played 3 or 4 years ago, it would have been a completely different story.
Oh,
Juventus would have
yes.
been going into the game, of course, the team you'd
The
expect to win.
favourites.
But,
PSG just money,
but these days, yeah, I would expect PSG to absolutely thump them, and they didn't. Too
Well, especially the form their front three is on as well. Like Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. It's really just come to life this season.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
far.
definitely.
Especially Neymar. He's completely.
No,
turned
oh
it on.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's all good for Neymar till it's his sister's birthday, then he
got
gets
the-
magically
He
injured.
got the 3 points, that's all.
I mean, I would have went for 4-0 before the game. I mean, I thought
4-0 to who?
to PSG, because I thought they're a lot better side than Juventus, but I think that Juventus might have surprised a few people really, because I don't think they're
Did definitely surprise
an
me.
amazing side at the moment. I mean, they used to be, but they've just dropped off a little bit. Well, more than a little bit, quite a lot. But anyway,
I mean,
Next game.
the next game, Ajax Rangers, and I personally want to talk about this one because I watched it, and it weren't just the 4-0 scoreline that attracted me. It was the way Ajax was playing. I mean, you seems quite excited there. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not just Rangers being poor, to be honest. I think Kudos. I think he could go to like one of the biggest clubs, like a Tottenham, a Chelsea, an Arsenal, a Liverpool.
Well, that'll be next summer anyway.
Yeah, next
I-
summer.
He probably didn't go
You say
because
that,
they
but
sold
Ajax
something,
is, by name, top 3 biggest clubs in
Yeah,
Europe.
but I mean, like, he'd
Maybe
go to
5.
the probably top, I reckon.
think one thing I'm
He
gonna
looked
say is, I think
decent.
People are forgetting how good Ajax are, even though the fact they've lost quite a few key players, they've still got
It's
some
just the
quality.
talent they bring
I
through.
know
It's
the
just
fact that-
another
And it's
level.
the fact that all these Dutch guys, these Dutch kids, they kind of want to, Ajax is the big goal for them as being from Holland.
I
And they
mean-
seem to constantly regenerate these players.
So much talent, like Luis Suarez came from Ajax, and I think many people forgot that. And
Well,
I
he
just,
was signed from somewhere
yeah, but
else.
they really developed his career.
Yeah, as they do with a lot of players.
Did you,
before they get raided.
What do you think of the game?
Don't need to talk about that, so I predicted Rangers to come second in the group. The hope they can turn it around,
You like
basically,
Scottish
because that
football.
really wasn't a great performance.
Then again,
from
you
them.
did make a good point that they are better at knockout football, and I guess in the current group stage, that's a very different.
I reckon they'll turn
game.
it on when it really matters. I reckon they'll still
I
scrape
mean,
through.
what is the next game?
We've got Eintracht Frankfurt versus Sporting Lisbon. I did watch a bit of this one, considering of course
What's the
they're
final
in the
score?
same group as
3-0
3-0
Lisbon,
to the
wasn't it?
visitors, Lisbon, yeah. But in all honesty, if you watched
It's a shocking
I
game.
think I said this in my prediction.
It wasn't
I
a
think.
domination by any means. It was literally a very, very even game, but
Oh.
Lisbon just penetrated their chances better.
I
I
mean,
feel like I did say that in my prediction,
I
though, that
just
Eintracht Frankfurt had lost more players and they were just looking a bit more off it at the moment, especially with their
You
current
did,
form.
you did.
And the fact that Sporting still had Goncalves, I imagine he did pretty
Yeah.
well, and they still have some decent
I
players.
mean, Lisbon, another side that really produces talent, but I just
Spurs man Marcus Edwards being man of the
yeah,
match.
I just didn't expect Lisbon to turn it on so much against Frankfurt. I just thought, Frankfurt, big competition in the Champions League would show a bit more desire to put away their chances, but I've got proved wrong, sadly.
And I thought it'd be a close game, to be fair. I thought it would be a
Apart
draw.
from the
or something
goals,
like
I think
that,
it
because
was.
I think Sporting were, and all that, so I think they got, who's their defender as well? I think it's Sebastian Coates. I mean, he's all I'd say, he's quite a good defender. I mean, one thing is, I think Frankfurt, they lost, who was it? Kostic, was it? I think that probably affected them quite a lot, which may lead to them doing quite bad in Champions League, but we'll just have to wait and find out. Really.
One of the biggest games by name.
Into Bayern,
Inter
wasn't it?
Milan versus Bayern Munich.
2-0, I mean, Sane technically not getting the second goal, but he got the first goal, forced an own goal for the second one. He looked on fire. And, Sadio Mane, did he play?
I don't know. I didn't watch
Well,
this game.
I'm assuming he did play. I mean, it shows how much, even if he didn't play, he's revolutionised the Bayern Munich side, really turned around their bleak Champions League in the last couple of seasons.
Well, for me, this is just the type of thing that Bayern Munich do in the Champions League anyway. They're just a ruthless German machine, and they will punish you for your mistakes. And at times, they can make other teams look completely incompetent.
Even teams with such
with
talent.
players like
I mean,
Inter, they can do that.
Not had the
but-
best
can't
starts
wait
for
for
the
them to play
season.
against Victoria Pilsen. That's going to be interesting.
Oh god.
Easy win for
Speaking
Victoria
of which,
Trust.
they lost 5-1 to Barcelona.
Oh, well, shocking. I thought Victoria were going to win 12-0,
Don't need the sarcasm.
Okay.
Just bullying them at this point.
Sorry, Victoria, please, some hands.
Okay,
Yeah.
so after your actions today, I don't think you should be apologising on someone's behalf. I
Honestly,
think-
Barcelona were convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lewandowski getting a hat-trick, I mean, if he's not one of the best signings in the transfer window, in your opinion, you probably should go to Specsavers and get your eyes checked, because
Well, why do they need
he's-
their eyes checked? I think they need to go to a mental asylum instead.
a bit harsh, but because he's another player that's revolutionised their club, and I think they've been lacking a striker and lacking goals ever since Messi's departed. I think he could be the one to take them up, take them through, perhaps to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, but I don't think they get into the finals just yet.
Well, Victoria Pleasant, I feel like they're probably accepted they're going to be the whipping boys in that group, but
A bit like
you'd
Liverpool.
like to see a bit more fight from them, because then if they can get draws against some of these teams, it makes the rest of that group so much more interesting about who's going to qualify.
I
but
don't think they're going up.
against,
we get a draw, so it's more interesting for everyone
against
else.
Barcelona, they just didn't really show any fight at all.
They scored one goal, but I mean, just the concession of 5
Yeah.
was
Just
just.
didn't really.
It's not good enough, to be honest.
You'd almost expect them to not score but be more solid at the back,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in the end that didn't really happen. And
Do you
I
know
mean, they
what
are
league
just
they're
simply
from?
much worse than the other teams in the group.
What league are they from?
Czech top league. I think they finished second in Czech. No, obviously they finished top. Otherwise, in their Champions League.
Slavia Prague on it this year.
The next game, obviously the best game of that night, of the Wednesday night, Napoli-Liverpool.
Yeah.
See your opinions on this.
It's just really, really bad for Liverpool. But as a positive for Liverpool, Elliot and Diaz did well, but the rest was just rubbish. I mean, Firmino, Salah, poor. Gomez, absolutely shocking. Van Dijk's just been defending really lazy. I mean, Robertson's been off form, but at least he showed he still wanted to try and win. That's how he even got the assist for the
I have
goal.
to say, Alisson was good though.
Alisson, he did what he could really. He did save a penalty. He stopped it from being 5-1.
Van
He
Dijk
made another
got
few
one
saves.
off the line, didn't
Yeah, but realistically, I think Osimhen should have put that away himself and would have been 5-1 with that as well.
he? I
but
do have one thing to disagree with you about is Harvey Elliott. Yes, he's got the work rate, but what did he really do?
He's got the work rate.
He's a 19-year-old.
Is he a good player?
He's a 19-year-old, and if there's only one other player doing anything, you can't expect him to do that much.
Yeah, but when I turn 19 and put in the work rate, I'm not suddenly going to sign for Liverpool, am I?
Yeah, but he's much better than you, clearly, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, just because you have good work rate doesn't mean you're a good footballer in that.
It's not just
Scenario.
the work rate, though. It's the fact that he can keep the ball in tight situations, and really was one of the only players in our team actually keeping the ball, trying to move it around, trying to create chances.
Well, I think it was more to do with Luis Diaz. I think he was more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diaz was the
definitely.
main man, but Elliot was almost like his backup act in a way. He's the one like helping him out,
I
and
think you're
compared to the other
very
players, he didn't really do much.
overrating Harvey
honest.
Elliott.
You're
to
a
be
Chelsea
honest.
fan.
To
Half
be
your
honest.
fan base think Mason Mount's the best thing since sliced bread. So
Yeah,
I'll be
but-
quiet.
I think that
Mason Mount's terrible.
one team is going to be very, very annoyed at that scoreline, and that being Napoli, because they could have got
He
7 or
really
8.
could have.
I think they shouldn't have conceded, to be honest. I think, you know,
It's what you get
they
when you
let
play
Luis Diaz do. Well, I thought I won't be celebrating one goal when you've
It's
conceded
better
4.
than losing 8-0 or something.
Klopp could have been sacked, seriously, and I think
I mean, if it weren't for Van Dijk
that is a
clearing
sackable
one off the
offence.
line,
Because it's not, you know, PSG or Man City.
I
It's
you
think-
do
I think
have
the
to say
Liverpool
they
fans
looked
can
really
buy it,
scary, didn't they?
Napoli.
Yeah,
I'm
Napoli.
going to say they played the game they wanted to play. Italian football is same for all of
It's
these
a different
teams,
breed.
and
I just love their
slow,
fans.
It's slow, it's boring, and they'll, you know, catch you out. You think that the opposition thinks
Liverpool's
actually,
high line doesn't work in the Champions League.
the opposition
either,
think,
which is
oh,
the
we're
problem.
not going anywhere. They're just passing it about, and then in a minute it's in the back of the net. So they're so fast in the
One
attacking
thing
goal.
I do want to experience is an Italian crowd, because they are a different breed. You know, you just can't really compare anything to like the support that the Napoli players did get.
The Zagreb crowd was pretty
True.
Should we move on
Shut
to the next
up.
game anyway?
Atletico Madrid versus
The
Porto.
Brighton
This was a
crowds
very
were-
exciting game actually. It was 2-1 to Atletico.
Well, it sounded
Um,
like it was pretty boring until like the last 10
Yeah,
minutes.
well, the stoppage time was hectic. The penalty converted by Porto to equalise it, and the kind of joy of the Porto fans.
Well,
I mean,
Porto, you've got to be
Diego
disappointed.
Simeone had a good day. His son scored against Liverpool.
Do you want? We're not talking about Liverpool again.
I'm talking
Oh,
about
he's getting
Diego
triggered.
Simeone.
But we're not.
I mean, he saw his side get a late winner, and that's always a good feeling
But it was
as
kind
a manager.
of, you say the first 90 minutes was boring. Atletico did score in the first 90 minutes, but it was ruled out by VAR, controversially as well.
I don't like VAR.
Red card in the 81st minute for Porto from Mediterranean, and then of course there was the stoppage time drama, the penalty in the 96th minute by Uribe, the Colombian, and then of course Griezmann's goal right at the death, which who would have
Last kick of
thought
the game.
the game would have even been playing in the 101st minute? Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Baffles me. to be
Ridiculous
honest.
game in the end. I mean, Atletico grinding out results is kind of what they do under Simeone, really.
What
so.
they do.
I got to feel absolutely like gutted for the Porto fans. They
Yeah,
travel
you,
there,
you get the
Well,
equaliser
true.
and then you just let it slip.
the emotional roller coaster for both sets of fans, to be honest, was quite incredible. Moving on to a game which I really, really want to talk about. Tottenham's 2-0 win over.
I do
Olympic
think the red
de
card
Marseille.
was a bit harsh, you know.
It was a last-ditch challenge.
I think he
Um,
won a bit more of the ball than the referee gave him credit for. I think it was a yellow card, you know.
Yeah, but if you can't when there's one man left, last man, you can't slide him out like that.
Yeah.
But
Can't
he
get
got the
away with
ball.
things like that, really.
Yeah, but he got the
Well,
ball, but he also
Tottenham versus Marseille anyway. Richarlison got his first goals in a Tottenham shirt.
Yeah, well,
I
I'm
think it was-
really.
I think it was-
I mean,
I'm happy
I
for
do
him.
have to rate him because he's gone from Friday night relegation football to Wednesday night scoring.
Relegation. Oh, what, Everton?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking
scoring. No, scoring 2 goals in the Champions League. I mean, what a glow up, to be honest.
Anubis. No, the
Wow, bloody
there
hell!
was two games which were pretty much two goals were pretty much identical to each other. I think
Great headers.
I think that game pretty much just sums up Tottenham's season so far. It was slow, it was boring, we weren't all that convincing, but we got the job done. That's exactly what we've done for every game. Nottingham Forest, Wolves,
Fulham.
Fulham again, yeah. And well, actually no, we didn't get the job done against West Ham, but whatever.
We did.
But we have played that game this season of
Yeah.
It was Conte.
As long as you get the 3 points,
We're
that's
playing
all
like
that
an Italian
matters, to
team.
be
We're
honest.
getting 3 points, but will it
Conte
work against
doing-
Manchester City? That's what we've got to wait
I
Conte
for.
mean,
doing what he does.
Tony Bloom will be happy with this next game. You know, is side in the
what?
Belgium league?
USG.
No, I thought it was Club Brugge's side.
Oh my.
Oh,
That's,
no.
That's embarrassing. That's
Oh,
embarrassing.
I've got his clubs mixed
that's
up.
sad. So Club Brugge won 1-0 against
That's
Leverkusen.
sad.
So is this the final game?
Yeah,
of
it's the final game.
this match round up?
Don't know much about this one.
Not very exciting one to end it on, really, is it?
It's not, but it was Silla that scored. Does anyone know
Wasn't
anything
it
about
quite
this
a
game?
late,
No.
quite a late goal?
No,
Wasn't
it
it?
was 40s.
Bruce versus,
Oh.
Bruce versus Leverkusen, right? Well,
Yeah.
To
I
be
did
honest-
say that Leverkusen were in poor form. They wouldn't do too well, and I did predict Club Brugge to do
You
quite
could
well.
say it is a
so-
bit of a shock in a way, because
Well, that's not a shock for me. I predicted Club Brugge to do quite well
Same.
with their Champions League
Genius.
I
experience.
think it is
So.
fair.
kind of a
Bruce
shock
and
for most people. Though. I mean, I think people expect Leverkusen to do better, but I think they're not as great as people make them out to be. As they're not doing
Didn't
that.
you
I don't-
put Leverkusen in 3rd and Bruges in 4th?
Yeah, so for me myself, I think I underrated the Bruges side really, and
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, basically.
even overrated the Leverkusen side.
yeah.
So
I just don't understand like what happened with Leverkusen because they used to be one of the best teams in German football.
Well, I
Well,
think
they still are one of the top teams in that division.
Bender's
They've just
got a
been
bit
on poor
old,
form this season.
Bender's
I mean, they've
got
got a good
bells.
goalkeeper.
That sounds wrong in the English language.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I think they have got a
well,
good
that-
goalkeeper though.
I don't know.
I think that's it, you know.
Pretty much the end of the predictions. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and you'll get to see the dog again.
Oh
Say
my
goodbye.
Bye. Every little helps.